What if the very person meant to protect you became your greatest danger?
Not only has Sean lost a brother, but he has also lost his mother. I have lost my wife and my best friend.
Behind closed doors, love twisted into fear, and innocence met a chilling end. These are real stories, shocking truths that will make the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end.
911, what's your emergency?
I just killed my children.
Excuse me?
I just killed my children.
For better or worse, this is a new chapter in one of the darkest stories imaginable.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is beyond my wildest imagination how anyone could abuse a beautiful little fella like this child was abused and neglected.
Brace yourself for moms who killed their own kids, Part 8. In towns across America, stories occasionally emerge that shock entire communities, stories of children suffering at the hands of those meant to protect them. In Davenport, Florida, one such case unfolded in May 2024, when 36-year-old Patricia Saint-Hilaire was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and witnessed tampering in the death of her 4-year-old adopted son, Brian Ber. Brian, adopted from Haiti in April 2023, died after what authorities described as a pattern of severe and ongoing abuse. Medical examiners found evidence of both recent and long-term injuries, including a deep laceration on his liver from a hard strike to the abdomen, multiple layers of bruising, and scars from past beatings. On May 1st, Brian returned home from school appearing happy and healthy. Within hours, he became lethargic and unable to walk or sit up. Patricia dismissed his symptoms as faking it. When Brian became unresponsive, his 16-year-old brother, also adopted from Haiti, performed CPR and pleaded with Patricia to take him to the hospital.
He's in the arms of God right now, and he's no longer being beaten. He's no longer being punched. He's no longer being tied up and thrown in the swimming pool.
Brian was first taken to a local hospital and then airlifted to Orlando Health, where he died. The autopsy ruled his death a homicide caused by blunt force trauma. Detectives discovered disturbing surveillance footage on Patricia's phone. One video showed her beating Brian with an unknown object while he lay unresponsive on the floor. Another showed her throwing him into a pool with his hands tied behind his back. Initially, the teenage brother denied witnessing abuse, but after being placed in protective custody, he revealed that Patricia had threatened him with a gun and instructed him to lie to authorities. He also described a history of physical discipline with belts and homemade devices, both in Haiti and in Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is beyond my wildest imagination how anyone could abuse a beautiful little fella like this child was abused and neglected.
Patricia Saint-Hilaire remains in jail without bond as the investigation continues. As Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said, "It is beyond my wildest imagination how anyone could abuse a beautiful little fella like this child was abused and neglected." In April 2014, in the affluent suburb of New Malden, southwest London, Tanya Clarence, a 43-year-old mother, smothered her 3 young children, Olivia, 4, and twins Ben and Max, 3, as they slept. All 3 suffered from spinal muscular atrophy type 2, a severe genetic condition causing muscle weakness and significantly reduced life expectancy.
911, what's your emergency?
I just killed my children.
Excuse me?
I just killed my children.
Overwhelmed by the relentless demands of caregiving and battling a major depressive episode, Clarence saw no way out. She left notes expressing deep remorse and attempted to take her own life. A nanny and neighbor discovered her, and she survived.
Tanya's depression was certainly not assisted by the constant pressure placed on the family by some individuals within the medical profession and social services who could not agree with Tanya and Gary Clarence's stance of prioritising quality of life of their children.
At trial, Clarence pleaded guilty to manslaughter by diminished responsibility. Medical evaluations confirmed her severe depression impaired her judgment. The court accepted this plea, and she was detained under a hospital order for treatment. What could drive a mother to commit such a horrific act? On June 2, 2016, Phoenix police responded to a harrowing scene. Octavia Rogers, 29, was found bleeding in her bathtub, screaming that she was the Creator and expressing a desire to go back to the Creator. Her 3 sons, Jaikare Rahman, 8, Jeremiah Adams, 5, and Avery Rogers, 2 months, were discovered dead, hidden in a closet. The infant was found inside a suitcase, and all 3 children had been stabbed and partially dismembered.
911, what's the location of the emergency?
Well, we've just turned up to the house, and we hadn't really heard from anyone for about a day and a half. There's some blood from her mouth.
Roger's brother, who discovered her, reported that she had recently become obsessed with various religious ideologies and spoke of having the answers and referenced the Mayan calendar. He found her in the garage, after which she locked herself inside, inflicted stab wounds on herself, and attempted to drown herself in the bathtub before police arrived. Rogers initially misled police about her children's whereabouts, only for officers to later find the bodies concealed in the closet. Investigations revealed previous, unsubstantiated reports of neglect involving Rogers and her children, but no clear warning signs of imminent violence.
A guilty except insane plea is very, very rare in our criminal justice system. The reason it's rare is because it's very difficult to prove that someone was actually insane when they did it.
Rogers was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. After mental health evaluations, she pleaded guilty except insane and was sentenced to life in a mental health facility, with periodic reviews to assess her condition. In October 2008, Michelle Kehoe of Coralville, Iowa, took her 2 young sons, 7-year-old Sean and 2-year-old Seth, to a secluded pond nearby. There, she covered their faces with duct tape and used a hunting knife to slash their throats. Tragically, Seth died at the scene, while Sean survived by locking himself inside the family van.
Not only has Sean lost a brother, but he has also lost his mother. I have lost my wife and my best friend. But we do need to remember that this incident is a result of profound mental illness.
After the attack, Michelle inflicted serious injuries on herself. Initially, she told authorities that an unknown assailant had attacked her family. However, Sean's brave testimony contradicted her story, leading to her arrest and charges of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and child endangerment.
She was in despair. She saw no hope at all. The only thing she saw was death, and she saw that as the only solution.
During her 2010 trial, Kehoe's defense argued she was suffering from severe mental illness, including major depressive disorder, and believed she was sparing her children from future suffering. Despite this, the jury found her guilty. She was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus additional years for the other charges. In March 2011, Sacramento mother Ka Yang committed an act that would horrify the nation. Alone at home with her 6-week-old daughter, Mirabel Thao Lo, Yang placed the infant in a microwave and turned it on for several minutes. Mirabel suffered fatal burns covering more than 80% of her body, including her internal organs. When first responders arrived, Yang claimed she had suffered an epileptic seizure and found her baby injured near a space heater. She insisted she had no memory of putting Mirabel in the microwave, attributing her confusion to a post-seizure state. However, investigators soon found the infant's pacifier inside the microwave, casting doubt on Yang's account. The autopsy confirmed that Mirabel died from thermal injuries consistent with microwave exposure.
The child sustained unusual and rare thermal burns. The investigation revealed that these burns were consistent with only 3 other cases in this country with the same similar type injuries. And that was determined those injuries occurred as a result of being burned in a microwave oven.
Yang's defense centered on her long-standing history of epilepsy, arguing that she was in a postictal state, disoriented and unaware of her actions at the time of the incident. The prosecution countered with arguments about postpartum depression and psychosis, though Yang had never been formally diagnosed with these conditions. Despite her claims, paramedics reported that Yang was not disoriented when they arrived. In 2015, Ka Yang was convicted of first-degree murder and assault on a child resulting in death. She was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison. However, in 2021, the California Court of Appeal overturned her conviction, ruling that the trial court had improperly allowed expert testimony regarding postpartum mental disorders without sufficient factual basis and had admitted confidential psychological records not directly relevant to her defense. The court concluded these errors were significant enough to warrant reversal of the conviction. As of the appellate decision, Yang remained in custody awaiting a possible retrial. They were supposed to protect, to nurture, to love, but instead they turned into executioners, taking the lives they once brought into the world. What makes a mother cross that unthinkable line? Is it madness, desperation, or pure evil? Tell us what you think in the comments, and if this story shocked you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling true crime breakdowns. More disturbing truths are coming soon. Thank you for watching.